Good evening and welcome to Monday Night Live. This is the road edition. I literally just walked through the door about an hour ago. Had a great time. Went home to celebrate the wedding of the Mr. Hansen, which was a lot of fun. I'll talk a little bit about that because some of the things that I had to do leading up to that I couldn't share with you until now. So it's in the bag. So that's good. Hello, Mark R. and Kyle Shees. Welcome, you two. Mark, I'm glad you're here. You are one of the people on the list tonight, so if you win, that'll be good. And that's good. So, no, Mark R. It was Kevin R. I don't know. There's too many R's. Well, welcome, Mark. Mark, if you haven't put in your 543 suggestion to win a painting, do that. Just type in 543 and then give me a suggestion for one of these black and white paintings. I do not have any black and white paintings for you this week because I was away and I just couldn't get them done. So I apologize for that. But it does not mean we're not going to give one away. We are going to give one away. It's just you have to choose from the over 200 of them on my website. So it's not terrible, but yeah. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, the wedding was great. I got some stuff to show you. But before I get going with that, I want to say a huge thank you to Kathy, Rhea, brother Sideshow Bob, Mr. Brian Moore, and of course Honey Rivera. All of those wonderful people gave super thanks last week. And Honey went and made the highest bid on last week's painting as well. So she gets double thanks. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to switch things around because I got a few things to show you, and then we'll get rolling. I'm going to switch to this one. That's my notes for tonight. And I'll say hi to everyone while my tablet's opening up. You got all you guys are here. That's awesome. Hello, Rick. What's up, Dan? Mr. Brian Moore. Hello. Auntie Paula. What's happening? Cheers, Chris Garcia. Cheers. Chris, I only have regular Coca-Cola tonight. Just plain old Coke, because after the drive, if I have anything to drink, I'll be asleep. Honey Rivera, there she is. Awesome. Mr. Western Massacre Lock Sport. Yeah, buddy. Cheese, grits, and NyQuil, thank you again. I quickly saw the beginning of your video, your live earlier, so thanks for the shout out again. You're amazing. Swamp Picker, what's up? Swamp, you are definitely on the list to win a painting tonight. I did see your name, so that's good. Brandon, what's going on? Todd, you need to put in your 543 suggestion, my friend. Robert O'Malley, hello. Raul, what's good, man? Yeah, awesome. Chuck Soup, Chuck, what's going on? Excellent. Look at you guys. All right. So I'm sorry, you're looking at blurry things. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing this. All right. Let me find me for a second so I don't have to lean around the block to see comments here, and then we'll just get going. So while I was in Newport, there we are. The wedding was in Newport, Rhode Island. Let me start with this, I think. So some of the paintings that I've been working on for all this stuff. Let me show you the first one. You guys saw this one, I think, already. This was for my cousin. So I did this one. Where am I going with this? Yeah. I did this one for my cousin. You guys saw me do a lot of this. So this was a anniversary present from my cousin Mark to his lovely wife Kathy. And this is the place where he proposed to her, which was in his hometown. And I think it's her hometown too. I could be wrong. But anyway, so I did this one with you. We knew that Kathy wouldn't be watching because she's still working at the time we do the feed. So we got away with doing this kind of partially live. But this is how the painting came out for that. So that was delivered at the end of the month. Their anniversary was the end of September, which was great. So we got that one done. And then the other one that I was working on that I couldn't show you is this one. And this was my wedding gift for Mr. Hansen and his lovely bride, Lily. Their first date together was down in Newport, Rhode Island at Breton Point. And so I painted a little, it's not little, it's 8 by 10, but this is my landscape I did at Breton Point. So that's what they got. And I couldn't show you that either. So that gets you caught up on all that. The other thing that I did when I was down there, if you haven't been or don't know, let's go this one. Newport, Rhode Island is right on the coast. Most of Rhode Island is the coast, but Newport is home to all the big super fancy, thanks. Newport, Rhode Island is home to all the fancy mansions, like not just, expensive houses. These are the real, like giant, crazy stone 1800s sprawling zillion-dollar mansions. And there's, downtown is kind of not quaint, it's kind of froofy, but they got a lot of stores and shops and stuff, and it's become quite a tourist attraction. So it's also a popular place for people to go for things like weddings. But it's right on the coast, and I love coastal things. So I got me a bunch of pictures, and you bet I got a whole bunch of Newport sand. And out of all the sand that I've collected, and I know it sounds weird for me collecting sand, I should have brought a painting to explain to the people who are here, who are not usually here, why I collect the sand. But this is the nicest sand I've ever found. For Rhode Island sand, it's crazy. It's like perfect. It's like pre-sifted and all the same size and sparkly. And I almost thought it was fake, but I got it right from the beach. The thing that happened was there are these dunes on the sand on the beach, and the sand, the lighter sand, this stuff gets blown over the top of the dune and ends up in these little like these little areas that are just perfectly air sifted and everything. So anyway, that's my sand. I'm going to do a painting of Newport, but not like the one I gave Keith. All right, let's get going. Right? Sand. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to show you then. Hold on 1 second. Alrighty then. So I don't have one with sand because they're all at the gallery right now. But I did have this one, so I'll show you this one. Oh, honey, thank you so much. So this, actually, I gotta clean the glass a little bit, but this is my painting of Cleveland. I'll give you the close-up of it, but this is why I wanted to show you. For those who aren't familiar with the way I do these landscape paintings, or, most of the landscape paintings, they're of a certain area. And then what I'll do is I will get something from that area and crush it up and use it as kind of the backdrop for it. So for when I'm doing these beach paintings, they'll have the sand from the beach or the town that I got the image from. So this is Cleveland, and this asphalt here is crushed up from the streets of Cleveland. No, Cincinnati. What am I saying? I haven't done Cleveland yet. But anyway, you get the idea. So that's it. I'll give you a close-up of this one. A little bit of, but yeah, this is a little bit of light. So this is Cleveland. I'm working on Tokyo right now. And yep, I have stone from Tokyo. But yeah, so that's how it works. So I got the painting of the city or whatever. And then in the background, you have the asphalt. So for the beach paintings, I'll be doing something of Newport, and now I have the sand. But that's not why you're here. You're here to get going on this other stuff, I think, right? No, Brian, not the $2. I figured I'm going to work a little bit on that airbrush holder from Spraygunner, because I got to get this done because it's been sitting around too long, and I need to get that to them. Also, I mentioned it last week. Honey Rivera won the bid on the cherry painting, but there is another one exactly like it. And it's on the website right now for the same price that Honey won it for. So if you want an actual painting for $50, now's the time to get that. Honey is having hers framed, so I'll show you that before it goes out. I've got something special planned for that, so I'll share that with you hopefully next week. All right, anyway, let's get to it. So here is the progress so far in this airbrush holder. And these are 3D printed by Spraygunner. I wish I got to find out the name of the artist that designed this, but it is very cool. And if you've kind of been around the airbrush world and Spraygunner world, you'll see a number of artists have painted these. A bunch of them are out. And it's really become a really cool thing. Dave G has been doing a bunch of them. I saw Michael McClung did one. It's just really cool. So this is my version right now. And what we started doing was we started doing all the gold leaf on it. So we'll do a little bit of that today, and while waiting for the sizing to dry, I want to kind of get some stuff done on the mask. The tentacles are pretty much done. I think I'm going to add a little bit more to them, but nothing really crazy. And then I got to come up with a solution for the actual holder part of it. I painted the bottom silver, but I'm not completely sold on that. I also have to come up with some idea for the base. I was thinking wood, you know, kind of make it fake wood, but I also don't know about that. So what it is it's just a little, you know, receiver for your airbrush, and it's pretty heavy. So you put this on a desk and then just put your airbrush in it, and it holds your airbrush. That's the idea. But we've gone ballistic on it, and instead of being just, you know, the blue color it was, we're going nuts. So, all right, now you're caught up. Everyone caught up? Gary, what's up? I know, paint something, Gary, right? Let me get this in a good spot. So what we'll do is we'll throw some sizing on this in a couple spots to get some gold down on this thing, and then we'll start working on the mask. All right. You broke yours already. Oh no. Yeah, so the good news is for this one too, I've talked to Artem a couple times and we've gone over a bunch of things. So we are going to give this airbrush holder away. It's going to be part of a promotion with Spraygunner. And if you hang on one second, there is Spraygunner. So it's spraygunner.com. They sell a bunch of airbrush supplies. So I'm gonna send this down to them. They're gonna come up with we got kind of a plan to give it away, and so you can win this, which will be fun. So keep an eye out for that. Dan Mayer, what's up? If I missed anyone, hello. Yeah, there we go. Swamp's in. All right, and we are going to do the giveaway at 7 again. I don't have any new paintings to show you. I will get back on board this week because I'm home with some new ones. So put those suggestions in, and I'll get working. But someone will win tonight, and you can just go on my website and pick it. Pick one that you like. What do I need to do? I hope you never paint a sewer treatment plant. Well, it's funny you say that, Gary, because I don't want to throw shade at Newport, Rhode Island, but I didn't realize that parts of Newport, Rhode Island do not smell so good because of like algae bloom and the way that the geography is there and all this stuff. I was like, why does this place smell like poo? So when you said that, I thought you might have visited Newport, Rhode Island and noticed the same thing I did. It's very lovely, though. It's lovely, but you just got to hold your breath. Yes, I did, Brian. I think I'm going to announce that after. I'm going to touch base with you because I have a few tweaks for it. But I think it's a really good idea. So I think Brian had a great idea for a viewer challenge. And yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. All right, let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this less expensive brush here to put the sizing on, again, because this sizing is like basically like rubber glue. Where is my sizing? Here it is right here. So this is water-based sizing. We talked a little bit about this. I'm just going to kind of get into it. If you have any questions on this, you can let me know, but we've kind of gone over this. The glue, switch back to this one. The way you put gold leaf on is you just have a glue, or they call it sizing, and you apply this glue to the place you want the glue to stick to, let it tack up, and then you just stick the glue to it. It sounds stupidly simple, and part of it is, but it does, it can drive you nuts. This is water-based as opposed to solvent-based, and there is a solvent-based stuff. It looks like amber. And this stuff just takes longer to set up, so I wasn't really using that. But I do like the solvent-based stuff really well. And I will show you what we're talking about. So this area right here is going to be gold nuggets. I want to kind of get started on the gold so I can do a little bit on the mask, but I got to get that done first. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this stuff like so. And it is just like almost just like Elmer's glue. And then this brush is small enough that I can kind of get it in there. I'm not overly worried. Like I'd rather not get it on like others, especially on the part I've already painted. But this part here, the mask that you can just see, I don't really care if I get, some sizing on that because I'm going to paint over on that. But this stuff down here, like where the tentacle is that I've already finished. I don't really want to get sizing on any of that. I can clean it up, but I'd rather not have to deal with that. So with the sizing, you can see how it's like really whitish. It pulls up in the little crevices. I don't want that either. I want just a really nice, thin, shiny coat of it. So wherever it's pulled up, I'll just kind of grab it and then move it to another area until it's like, you know, really spread out well. You don't want a deep, you know, like a big glob of it, because one, it takes forever to dry, and then two, it doesn't really act as a good, you know, glue base for the gold leaf. Just tuck that right in there. I can't do this week. Yeah, there we go. I was having a difficult time because I can't turn the holders, because if I do, you won't be able to see it. Look at you guys go with your suggestions. Again, if you're new here, welcome. The way you win a painting next week is you just do what the others are doing, type 543 so I know it's your suggestion, and then give me a suggestion to do one of the black and white paintings. I should have grabbed some of the black and white paintings so that you guys could see them who aren't familiar with them, and maybe I will do that. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just go grab a bunch of them right when we give them away, so you can see some of them and see what we're talking about with those. Oh, got a little bit of gold on that. That's not good. Or sizing on that. Good. That's good. I'm going to, since I got everything out, what am I going to do? I'm going to do this one back here too. I said this one back here too. There we go. Hey, James. What's up? The other rules for the contest, for the giveaway, is you can only win once per calendar year. So when I show you the list, you see all these people made suggestions, but when I show you the list, there are only 2 people on the list right now, because those 2 people are the only 2 people who made suggestions that haven't won. So you can make suggestions all you want, and actually I really love that because it helps me out. Because you know, it just gives me more stuff, more ideas to paint. Plus, we also are working on a point system, which I you know, I'll talk about later. But in any event, it helps out a lot, and it also there's a good chance, or a chance, that I will paint your idea too. Do I want to do more than this? How much more do I got? Yes, Ian, you have one yet. Oh, we could probably knock out all the gold. I didn't realize there wasn't that much. I thought there was more. Oh well, yeah, let's do it. We'll knock out all the gold, and then while this is setting up, I will I'll work on the mask too, because really that's it. Once I get the mask done and a few other details, this bugger's done. Which is exciting, you know, because we started this, you know, and then we were talking about giving it away, and things went sideways on how we're going to do that, and then, you know, Spraygunner stepped right in, and that was good. All right, yeah, I am getting this on the base too, but I'm not really too worried about it, especially with the base, because I'll show you how it's pretty easy to just clean up. You just scratch it off. There we go. Yeah, wow, that's going to get, I think that's going to get all the gold. Nice. So for cleaning this, this little brush, it just takes a little bit of soap and water, but I'm not going to go over to the sink right now. So I will just drop it in my little water bucket here for now, and that'll keep the glue from drying on it. All right. Now, if I remember right from last week or 2 weeks ago, what am I doing here? Turn this around. This thing sets up pretty quick. So we'll get this to here. I'm going to fix the focus here for you guys. There we go. So we do this front section first once it's ready, and it should almost be ready. It basically turns clear when it's ready. But I don't see it really. It's not quite ready yet. All right. So let's work on the mask then. So the mask, the rubber part of the mask here in the front is going to be orange. because that's Spraygunner's colors, and I thought that would be fun. I'll lighten this up a little bit too. And then the rest of the cartridges and everything are going to be regular, you know, respirator color. So grays and whites and stuff like that. Let me do this. Get you guys a little bit more light on this. That's better. Nice suggestion, Dan. Wait, what was EKG? EKG heart rhythm with a Control-Alt-Delete keyboard buttons in the middle. That's awesome, honey. Or an Alt F4 and then a flat line. I got gold, right? Yeah, I do. All right. So let's do this. Let's start working on this. So the one thing I want to make sure is that I don't get any orange paint on the skull. So we're going to put a little bit of a mask on that. What kind of mask are we doing with that? Paper and maybe tape. Or paper towels. That might work. Yar. All right. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of paper towel here and rip a small piece off. Something to keep this safe. And then this will just slip down and cover them up like that. So for this this mask, it's black right now. It's got Autoboard Sealer black on it, which is the base that I used. The problem is going to be putting orange on this isn't going to work. I have to basically make it white. So we'll just use opaque white for that. I could use Autoboard Sealer white, but that's kind of overkill. And then it's harder to spray with any kind of control. Just got to make sure I keep an eye on that sizing because I don't want it to get too dry. A UFO beaming up a cow. See, these are all good. And who did Kit? Honey did Kit from Knight Rider. So I've done a lot of these because we've been doing them for so long. Like I've done the Firebird, the Kit Firebird. But just because I did it doesn't mean I won't do it again. So the suggestion is still valid. So again, if you're new here and you suggest something that someone already suggested, even that night, or that I've done before, it doesn't matter. You're still entered. That's not how that works. It's easy. Like Cheese Grits keeps asking for Krampus. There is actually a Krampus painting that I did that's still on the website. So if you type in "You've Been Bad," you'll see the Krampus painting. All right. So what I've got in here is just regular white, and I'm just going to really lightly go over this guy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this down here. I think I'll make the whole thing orange, yeah. This paper towel, by the way, I think you see it over here. It's not even taped in place. It's just kind of sitting there. And yes, for you hardcore 3D printer type folk, I didn't do any prep to this. I should have sanded all the little, you know, steps out of it. But I honestly didn't think we'd be taking this thing this seriously. So there's that. I might have to tape this because I don't want that to come flying off. Check Soup Atlantis at Night. That is a good one. See, I haven't got that one yet. Yeah, it's so cool because sometimes, like, you know, especially we get a lot of airplanes and cars and stuff like that. So to do like the P-40 Warhawk, for those who don't know, the P-40 Warhawk is that World War II American plane that had the big shark face on the side of it. That's such an iconic plane. And I know I've done that a bunch of times, but it's just worth doing a bunch of times. So yeah, I love it when people make suggestions and, you know, I could do the same topic, but differently. All right. Now this one here, I don't know if you can see underneath, just the bottom of it, right at the bottom of the screen. We've got gold on where, oh, actually the gold is ready. So let's abort this for a second. But if you look down, I'll show you this real quick. I'll tilt this up and move this down. I'll just show you how I clean this up since this is already dried. All right, so there's gold on the respirator already. And all it takes, since the gold is super thin, all it takes is just like a X-Acto knife. and you could just scrape off what you don't want. So again, it's not a big deal, you know, and then if it really is being stubborn, which this stuff is now completely cured, and it can be kind of, you know, stubborn, I could just go back in with the black and cover it too. So that's the other way to go. Really, really easy. All right, well, let's get to a little bit of leafing with this. Chuck, that is an excellent suggestion that I have also done, but I will do that one again too. In fact, the bird of prey decloaking, I used like a pearl green, so the invisible part was actually sparkly and shiny. It was a lot of fun. All right, so I started with this one, so I'm going to start leafing with this one, and that way I'll know that the gold will be good all the way around. Oh, and I grabbed the wrong one. Yay. Let's do this. Patrick, yeah, what am I thinking? Oh yeah, we got this crappy piece of gold. This is actually a really nice piece of gold that got wet, and now it's trashed. Can't use that one. Do I have it in here? So to all my new lock picking friends, I am very excited that Mr. Cheese Grits sent me a get you started with lock picking package. I haven't been to the post office yet because I've been away, but I am very much looking forward to it. So I'm going to do a video when I open that. Just so you guys can all be amazed at how little I actually know about any of that. Well, everything I know is from watching you guys. So. And I just started, so I don't know. Now this I don't know. This is let me switch to this. This is one of the leaves or pages with the extra gold leaf on it, but I'm not sure that this is going to work because I don't know if this is going to release. So we may have to pick a new sheet. There's another one. Again, sometimes like this one, like this particular sheet got wet. You can see the coffee stain almost on the back. So as soon as that happened, the liquid went through this tissue paper that holds the leaf, and it basically glued the sheet to glued the gold to the sheet. So essentially, this is useless. But some of them, you know, you can get a little bit extra out of them. This one's got liquid on it too. What actually happened? I don't know. All right, let's use this one. So I'm just going to kind of push this in place to kind of get the gold to release a little bit. And yeah, it's going to work. Let me jump back to this so you can see what I'm doing. So once you kind of press the gold to the area, it just stays where it should be. And is this stuck or not? Yeah, a little bit stuck. Yeah. Oh, I hope so, Swamp. It's fun. You know, it immediately appealed to me right out of the gate. Oh, here's the one I want. So this one here is a used sheet, but if I do kind of like, well, let me show you on this one. If I kind of move this a little bit, you can see how the gold is like kind of loose. It's like flapping off that sheet. That's what I'm looking for. This is a sheet that just, you know, had a little bit of gold left on it. So now what I can do is with this soft brush, this is just a watercolor brush, so it's a red sable brush, I can pick little pieces of gold off the sheet. And that way I can kind of surgically put them in place. So I'm not going to, well, all you do is just kind of reach over to the gold. Let's see if I can do this. I know I've got the exposure up real high. Let's do that again. Lower it a little bit so you guys can see the gold. It's so bright. All right. So like that little piece right there. I know it's out of focus, but you'll get the idea. I can just pick up the gold with the brush. So this is great for these little areas. Now, if you were doing a large area, like if you're gold leafing a piece of wood or a frame, like a picture frame or something, you would take this whole sheet and just apply it right to the right to whatever you're working on. So if you're interested, it's really cool if you watch someone gold leaf for real on a larger surface. It's actually really, it's kind of ASMR. It's nice. All right, so we got that one in there. One more over here. And all the way up into here. Now remember, the gold is really only going to stick to where the glue is. So even though I've got it kind of everywhere here, I'm just going to kind of leave that alone and let that finish curing. So all these little bits and pieces that are everywhere will just come right off when we're done. Awesome. Wayne, what's up, buddy? I should do a little bit more on that. There's some holidays in there too. It's easy on this one because you can see the place where I didn't get the gold in, those little dark spots. It's not going to make a huge difference on this because it's so like textural anyway, but you know, if you want it to look totally good, you just kind of hit everything until there's nothing left, you know, no holiday showing. So there are two reasons why if you watch old traditional gold leafers, they'll use like a gold sizing, gold colored sizing, or a red sizing usually. The gold sizing is kind of a cheat, because if you have a holiday, you know, a place where the gold didn't cover, the gold sizing, gold colored sizing will kind of mask that off. But a traditional gold leaf job is done on a red sizing, like a maroon colored sizing. That is so that you can see where the gold didn't get to. But there's also a line of thinking that the red underneath, because this gold is so thin, gives the gold more luster, you know, that red color underneath. I don't know if I buy that, because even though this gold is super, super thin, it is really, really like opaque. Like there, I don't think you can see through it, but who am I, you know? All right, so now this little section right here was the next section we did. Grab some more pieces and just kind of shove them in there. I should have a smaller brush for this. Fortunately, I do. If you guys have any questions, just shoot them out. I have my tablet right here, so I can almost kind of keep up with your comments. Traditionally, these brushes that are used to apply gold to surfaces, they're called a tipping or tip. And they are, you know, some sort of really soft, natural animal hair. It just so happens that these Winsor Newton brushes that I use are perfect for it. So I can grab an old one like this one, and really does a great job. It just, anything stiffer than this, like if you use an oil painting brush, you'll just shred the gold. You'll just scratch it and you won't even be able to pick it up. So the soft bristles are what you're looking for. All right, there's that one. Spin this around. We're gonna get all the gold on this. I did not think this was gonna happen. I thought we'd do maybe one blob of gold and then the rest would be just painting, but this is awesome. Now on this side, this stuff is totally ready to go. See how it's like shiny and clear? That's perfect, perfect for what we want. What's not perfect is I need more. There we go. Come on, man. There we go. This is a good one. Be able to kind of take pieces off of this. These, I believe, the gold is held on by static electricity. And there are two types of gold leaf that you can get when you're looking for it. There is patent gold leaf and then loose leaf. The loose doesn't stick at all. So it's if you had a sheet like this where this isn't going to go anywhere if you move it around, if you do that with a loose gold leaf, it'll just fly off the sheet, which will, you know, if you're not ready for that, it'll make you sad. This patent leaf, I like working with it better because it's easier to kind of, you know, not deal with that gold flying everywhere. It just depends on the job. Patent leaf is more common with like the guys or girls who put the gold leaf on windows and stuff like that. So if you're working, for instance, on a window in a breezy area, you don't want the gold flying off your sheets. So they have it kind of, I guess, for lack of better words, stuck to it. But if you're working in a real controlled place, like if you are gold leafing furniture or, gilded frames or something like that, and you have a real controlled area, then the loose leaf is nice because you're not, fighting it at all to get it off the sheet. I am looking for, a lot of these sheets got damaged though. I don't know how they got wet, but they did, and that's a bother. But I got enough of it to do the job. I'm down to the end of this book. So gold leaf is sold in books. You might be able to just buy it, sheets at a time, like a number of sheets, but generally it comes in a little book. And it is real gold. This is 23 karat. So it is expensive-ish, Okay. Yeah, Ian, I hope that gets sorted out fast. I hope they get their heads out of their butts. Oh, man. I probably shouldn't be doing this after driving for 10 hours, but what could go wrong? You guys can't see it because I'm trying to keep it close so you can see this part of it. Make sure we're focused. But all I'm doing is, this is the bit of leaf that's left on the sheet. I'm just kind of getting underneath it with the brush real carefully and just pulling off a little piece to kind of get in those little areas. If you are one of my wonderful friends from Canada, I haven't checked yet, but last time I looked, they were having some issues with their postal service being on strike again. So if you are from Canada and you are waiting on something, I will get it out as soon as things open up again. There is obviously a difference between imitation gold leaf and genuine gold leaf like this. There's also different grades of gold leaf. Like, again, this is 23 karat. You can get 18 karat and, you know, I don't know if you can get 10 karat gold leaf, but yeah, all different kinds. And yes, you can tell the difference, you know. And there's also, you know, all kinds of silvers and copper and aluminum and variegated and all different kinds of leaf, which is a lot of fun. And now the good news is anything like, you know, non-fancy, you know, like if you buy an aluminum leaf, that's a lot less money and it looks really great. It's like silver. I don't know if there is actually silver leaf, but it's not something that's generally used because silver tarnishes so quickly. So generally when you see silver, like a silver colored leaf, it's palladium or aluminum, which doesn't tarnish as easily. There we go. That's good. A couple more there. And there's one more up there I got to get. Yeah, that little one up there on the front of this. Oh, they've already done the job, huh, Ian? Oh, then, let's bring on the recovery. I love that. All right. There's a nice big chunk for there. And with Nurse Ian on the job, I know she'll recover really fast, right? If it was, you know, if it was me, she'd take 3 times as long to recover, so. Because everyone who's sick gets Jello. I don't know why, but that's what you do. You get ginger ale and Jello no matter what. Even if you've had a spine replacement, you get ginger ale and Jello. All right, there we go. That's good. We're going to leave that just like that. Now, well, maybe we can do this. I don't know. I was just going to say we really can't do the next step until this really cures, but we might be able to. What could go wrong-ish? We'll jump back to this part of it. But doesn't this look crazy? So there is no gold paint that does what leaf does, period. I mean, there are some pretty awesome gold paints out there right now, but nothing looks, I mean, they look like little gold chunks right there because basically that's what you're looking at. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. So the next step now is to get rid of all the excess gold. And again, I have this really soft, this is a Winsor & Newton watercolor brush, sable watercolor brush. And all I'm going to do is really lightly kind of go and brush off the excess. Now, I want to be super, super careful on the actual area that I leafed because right now the gold hasn't set. The sizing hasn't completely set. So if I really like work on this, I'll be able to just, you know, rub it right off. So you want to be real careful with that. Once the sizing actually sets, you saw on that, you know, the front of this thing, it holds really, really well. I mean, yeah, you can do some damage to it if you're not careful, but it really does hold really well. So that's pretty much it. You know, once I get that done, The gold is kind of all brushed off. There's a little bit left, that I can just blow off once it completely cures. But that's pretty much the rundown. And if I did a decent job, I didn't get gold everywhere it shouldn't be, which is nice. Has a really good effect though, a really, really cool effect. And then what you do afterwards, which I can do on the other side since it's dry. Nice, Ian. Ian, you gotta, there needs to be pictures of Ian in his nurse's uniform or it didn't happen. So that's all I gotta say. All right, so this section right here in the middle we did last time, which was a few weeks ago. So now what you can do, if this was on a flat surface, you could actually even polish this to look like shiny gold. But since it's on a rough surface, it's not going to do that. But I could still use the brush to kind of go over this. And the more I go over this to a certain point, you don't want to do this until it gets damaged. But as long as I'm kind of keeping eye on it, as I do this, it'll polish up the high spots on the gold. It'll make them even shinier, which is a lot of fun. Now you can do this like I said, on a flat surface. You can do this with even like a cotton ball, a real soft cotton ball will do it. But for this, because it's so textured, the only thing you really do is the brush, which is nice because it does kind of get into different spaces and do that. So here we go. I'm going to switch you back out to the big camera so you can kind of see the whole thing, and then we'll do a little bit on the. We'll keep working on the mask for the rest of the feed, which will be great. I thought we wouldn't get any of the. I thought we'd get one little bit of the gold done, but there you go. So that's how it is right now, and it's sitting on all that. That little skull is sitting on all that big pile of gold now. The more I do on this, the more I'm feeling that I'm just gonna leave this base black. I think if I do get any kind of crazy wood grain, it's going to take away from it. And I want to be super careful not to get a bunch of paint on the gold. I mean, I can re-gold if I run over it. But something tells me, I don't know. I like the weight of the black on the bottom. So, cool. Nice, nice. Let's keep working on the mask then. That's exciting. All right, this goes here. Oh, look at that. It's almost set up already. Well, what do you know? Almost like we know what we're doing. Yeah, so again, to my 3D printed friends, you can see the, I don't know, like it's a topographical map from where the layers of the 3D print was. A real 3D print type of miniature person would have sanded all that off. But again, I didn't think it was going to be this crazy, which is fun. But it is. 16 minutes of showtime. Thank you, honey. All right. I'll get the rest of the gold off later. But you get the idea. All right. So we're gonna do this is supposed to be a orange rubber, the mask is. What am I trying to say? I've driven for 600 miles. I have no idea what's going on right now. The mask will be orange rubber. And you guys all should be yelling at me right now for spraying this thing without covering the skull. Because we don't want that. That would suck. A nurse's cap for Ian. That's awesome. When you prime the 3D print, it tells you what you need to say. Yeah, no kidding, Rhea. But like I said, I'm like, man, I'm just going to throw something on this. It'll be fun. We'll just, I don't know, we'll give it away or whatever. And then it turned into this. So it went from this 1 hour feed type of thing to, mega crazy gold leaf, blah, blah, blah. I'm not too worried about getting white on the cartridges because they're going to be gray and white anyway. So I'm just worried about just concentrating on the mask part of it for now. And I'm also going to do a weathering effect on this. So everything else seems to be weathered. I was going to leave it bright orange, but I think it'll look out of place. So Oh my gosh, yeah. Rhea, you know what? As I really am enjoying this, so I know I'll be doing more of these, and I'm going to, whatever the next one is, I'll do it right. But yeah, I'm sure. Well, you guys can't see it now because the exposure is so bad, but I can. Yeah, as soon as you spray this, you can see all those little lines. All right, now I don't want to get gold on this. I really, really don't. I mean, I don't want to get white on the gold. That's what I mean to say. You guys are really going to have to just put up with me today. I am punch drunk. So I do have some white on this, on the gold down here. You can't really see it because it's too low, but I'll show you. You can see this one pretty well. The other one is kind of washed out, but right there I've got some white that got onto the gold. There are two ways to kind of handle that. The first way is to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol. You can do this sparingly unless you don't have any rubbing alcohol, which I moved it. That's right. Anyway, I got it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a paper towel or Q-tip will work for this. So I take my paintbrush, the one I use for painting, grab a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and I want to make sure this isn't like dripping wet, but I just want to kind of brush this onto the paint. And then what I can do is I can take a little bit of paper towel and gently kind of hold it in place. And then, you know, it'll take take that paint off. Now, if you're not careful like I did right here, you can go down to the black. So if that doesn't seem to work, or if you're, worried about doing that, the real simple thing is to put a little bit of sizing on that and then just throw some more gold on it. That's the easier way to do it. So there we go. All right, back to it. Yeah, it was fun. It's actually a pretty nice drive. So, honey, you'll appreciate this, and all my other East Coast New York friends. So to get to Newport, Rhode Island, because it's on the lower coast of Rhode Island, normally my route to the East Coast to Massachusetts takes me Route 80 to 81 and then up to Route 90. I could go 90 all the way, but I'd have to travel north a lot, right now, like this end of it, and it's usually not. It takes a little bit longer. But anyway, to get to Newport, I basically took 80 all the way to New York City, which was cool because I've never gone like that way. It didn't take me into the city. I ended up going around the city and then jumping on 95. But yeah, it was kind of cool going that way for a change. But normally, like I said, I'm on Route 80 through Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful drive. You go through the Pocono Mountains when you get on 81, and a lot of 84, which is kind of I clip New York, up near your friend and mine, Nub. So I go right by his shop, which is a lot of fun, and then it takes me in on the Mass Pike, which is Route 90, which again is then I drive right through Cheese Grits and NyQuil land, which is Western Mass. So that's, it's just nice. It's a nice trip. All right, there's the white. So I don't need a ton of white on this. I just need enough so that when I put the orange on this thing, it has something to stand up on. So let's get some orange in here. What do I want to use for orange? I think I want to use bright orange. Normally my go-to orange is like, again, my brain is not working. This is awesome. I actually feel like I'm drunk. Raw sienna. That's fine. I got this. Raw sienna is my usual go-to orange, but in this, I want to start with a real bright orange so that I have something to weather. You know what I mean? Like if I use the burnt sienna, it's a nice rusty orange, but it automatically starts off as that kind of weathered look. But the opaque orange is just nice, bright orange that I can kind of start with. I also broke cardinal rule number 1 of painting. I literally got out of the car, came down here and set up. So I have unpainty clothes on, which is very dangerous because whenever you wear unpainty clothes, they become painty clothes. It's like Murphy's Law thing. Yeah, honey, that trip across Pennsylvania and then, you know, the Poconos and all that is really, really pretty. We had, you guys all know, I mean, this season has been super crazy, weird. The East and, you know, where we are in Ohio has gotten almost no rain. So there's no like foliage, but normally, you know, when the leaves are changing, that's an incredible route to take. Yeah, Rhea, no kidding. I will let you know as soon as I dump paint on these pants and shirt. Oh, you'll hear it. So there we go. There's opaque orange in here. We still got 10 minutes, right? What? 10 minutes? Reflecting 10 minutes to go. I love it, James. Yeah, we still got 10 minutes. That's amazing. Did you drive hours through cornfields? It's an Ohio thing. Brian, fortunately, I live in Northeast Ohio, so I'm pretty much right over the border. So, well, yes, corn is huge where we are. It's not like, you know, Western Ohio. Like by the time I like get going, I'm already like into the wilds of Pennsylvania. So that's like, you know, there's too many hills and valleys for a ton of corn. So I have to wait till I get back over the border for my fill of corn. 8 minutes, awesome. See, Rhea, because Todd is smart and I am not. I still want to get like a real cool apron, you know. But I sit when I paint, so that means it would have to be like a waist down type of apron thing. But I don't know. We'll see. I live an hour east of Columbus, so corn everywhere. Yeah, once you get down there, yeah. Yeah, corn and soy. And for those who don't know about industrial farming, especially feed farming, what Brian and I are talking about is not that yummy, yummy sweet corn that is so good. It's feed corn, which is basically like little, they look like corn, but it's basically like wood carving of corn. They're just, you can't eat it. So they literally don't even pick it. They grind up the whole thing, the whole plant, and then they feed it to, you know, livestock. The first time when I first moved here, because what happens is with that corn, the feed corn, they let it go all season. When they've harvested, it's not green anymore. It's all dead. And I'm looking at them like, these guys don't know what they're doing, man. All the corn's dead. That's exactly what they want. We have a smaller for around here size cornfield across from where we live. And it's big enough that they hire this crop duster to come and do all the bug spraying on it, which is a lot of fun. I still say, you know, I mean, that has to be like the best job in the world. Guy looks like he's having a blast. All I can picture, I can't see him because he's moving too fast, but all I picture is, what's his name from Independence Day. You know who I'm talking about. You get bonus points if you remember the actor's name, because I can't. So here's how this is going to work tonight. I'm going to get the base color done on this. We're going to weather this. No, I'm going to get the base color done. We'll give away a painting, and then I'll do all the weathering on this rubber part, and then we'll be done. The land of cheese, grits, and NyQuil. That's it, Western Mass. And Western cheese. I think I figured out where you came up with your name. It is a play on Western Massachusetts, isn't it? And you can say, duh, yeah, it is. But it just hit me this afternoon when I was watching the beginning of your video. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Western Massacre. That's an awesome name. Douglas Quaid, thank you. It was a Quaid. Excellent. Points go to Mr. Cheese, Mr. Grits, Mr. NyQuil. I don't know why this other side isn't really catching up. This is your side. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Yeah, honey, I remember. Yeah, I would have remembered Will Smith and the others. It was Dennis Quaid that I couldn't remember. I'm back. That's it. Oh, so good. Now I gotta go watch that again. And Brent Spiner was in it too. He was the crazy scientist. For those Star Trek fans on board, I just hose this thing down way too much. There's tons of paint on this now, which is bad. Randy Quaid, thank you, not Doug Quaid. Randy Quaid, yeah. Nice. All right, that's, oh, I put way too much paint on this. Good thing I'm weathering this. Yay. All right, let's put this aside before I really screw this up. And we're going to give one away. I don't have any paintings to show you, so that's easy. So we're just going to go to the tape. Oh, did I do that? I don't know if I did that. We'll see. That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, my lock-picking friends. I know the first person on this list is one of the lock-picking crew. You guys are going to have to help me with the second one because I think it either was just a new person or it might be a lock-picking friend. But those are the two people on our list tonight. Number one is Swamp Picker and number two is Kevin R. So that's why when I saw the other Kevin tonight, I'm like, oh, hey, you're here. But it was a different Kevin. So Kevin R is our number two tonight. So it's really, really simple. That's all you got to do. Make your suggestions. I don't even have it set up yet, but make your suggestions by tapping 543 while you're here. You have to be live to make a suggestion, but you do not have to be live to win. So if you can make a suggestion this week and something happens and you're going on vacation next week and you can't be here and I draw your name, you still win. You just check my Facebook or my Instagram, because I announce who wins the next day. So that way, you can double check and then you get a hold of me and we're good. All right, so there it is. 1 out of 2. So you have 50% chance to win. Aha! There we go. Welcome, Swamp, to the fold. You are our winner tonight. So Swamp, this is how this works. You can go to StephenLeahy.com, go to the website, which you can find on any of my socials, or you can just type in StephenLeahy.com. And in the shop section, you can just type in, or you can go to the 543 department, and there's like 200 paintings in there, black and white paintings. You can run through them and pick one you like, and then just send me a private message with your shipping address, so we don't tell the world where you live unless you want to, which I don't suggest. And I will just ship it out to you. That's all it is. You don't have to buy me Target gift cards. You don't have to, I don't know. You don't have to get a extended car warranty or anything like that. It's easy. Congratulations, Swamp. Welcome to the fold. Now, Swamp, you can't win again till next year, but that's still good because you get a painting. So, yeah, buddy. All right, so we're going to make this short and sweet then because this worked out great. I've got that paint that I put on here, and I put too much on here, but it's okay because it's going to be weathered anyway. But now you can see that with that white on it, it really pops out. Hey, no problem. Yeah, take your time. It's, hold on. I'll make it easy for you. My wife is looking. Oh, you're already there. Okay, yeah. For anyone else who is interested, that is the website. And yeah, the other thing too to keep in mind, and Swamp, I didn't mention it. That basically we've always had that be just kind of like, yeah, you can definitely take one of the 543s, but say you want like one of the the bigger paintings, the more expensive paintings, you can use that win as a credit too. So don't feel like I mean, the easiest way to go is just grab a 543, but if there's something you see that's like oh my god, I gotta have it, that works out. All right, for this, normally I would take this slow and kind of do the weathering with like browns and build up, but I'm going to start with the black. Why? I don't know. So I'm going to do black and then I'll just hit it with a little rusty color to kind of finish it up. But I think I want to start with the black because I want to kind of get the feel of where the weathering is going to be. I am definitely going to be wearing this paint by the end of the night. Oh boy. Happy wife. Yeah, there you go. Well, see what you can do, Swamp. Next week, if your lovely has a YouTube account, just have her log in, drop in a comment, and then she can win one for you. All right. So this is just opaque black. It's really reduced. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Hold on. Because I can't get at it from where you're looking. So we're going to go more head on for this. Yeah, more like that. I am hoping too that once I get through this last painting that I have to do, that I'll be able to kind of open up commissions again. Because I haven't been able to do that for a while. So that's the other thing too. Before we had an option where you could actually just use your win as a deposit on a 543 commission. So hopefully we'll get back to that too. And also Swamp, also keep in mind too, I didn't mention this, there is no rush. I mean, yeah, excuse me, I would, I don't hunt anyone down. Like if you win and you don't pick one for like 2 months, I'm not going to bug you about it. You still win. You just send me a message when you're ready. But I guess my point is you can take your time. Like you don't have to decide right now. You can take your time with it. All right, again, just regular opaque black. And I'm going to start as soon as it starts coming out. I'm going to start on the seams, like around the edges, which is again why I overly wasn't worried. Actually, I need a heavier black. I'm going to start on the edges because that's going to kind of be the area where it tucks in. Oh, Dan, thanks. Yes, that's the other option too. Swamp, you'll see if you want to get it framed, there's a standard frame that I do for them as well. And if you look up framing or just framing, you'll see the framing for winners. And it's actually for anyone really. But if you buy a 543, it's an option where you can get it framed. So you can just buy the framing option separate if you win. So you don't have to by any stretch. They fit right into a 3x5 frame. No, 5x7 frame, sorry. Oh, that's much better. So I'm just going to start with the black and I'm just going to kind of drag it up in little spikes to give it kind of a, like I said, distressed kind of ruddy underwater look. Oliver Reed, nice. Yeah, thanks, Dan. I love that you have those. And that's fun, too, because when you get it framed and I frame them, they all, if you get a few of them, they all look the same. They all have that same vibe to them. I don't know what I'm going to do with this little tab way down the bottom here. I think I'll have that little button silver, maybe? Wait, what did I miss from Honey? I missed it. Yeah, so that's the thing. We try to make the frames make sense, and that's why there is a little bit of extra room on the mat on the sides, because 3x4 isn't a standard size, but 5x7 is a standard frame size. So I have the mats cut so that they fit into a regular frame, which is really, really nice. It immediately gives you a ton more options. Oh, lawn darts, is that what I missed? The real ones, right? The lead ones, those, yeah. When you had to earn your childhood. When it was, you know, sink or swim and live and die. Can you imagine someone like coming out with that game right now? Like, just brilliant. Like, we can't sell this. People throwing metal darts at each other. But that's why we are the generation that survived. So automatically out of the gate, much better that side looks now. How it's kind of, you guys focused, for crying out loud, just yell at me. So just out of the gate, you know, you got this cool kind of, the way it's tucked in. There is obviously natural shadows and shading in there, but it looks so much more, you know, intense that way. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you. That's very cool. And now the other side, I think, yeah, we'll do the other side. You know, try not to turn this as much so you guys kind of see what's going on. There we go. If you have it framed, it's an additional $50. And that comes ready to hang. So it's all wired, and I sign the back, and it's nice. It's all dressed up. Grew up drinking from a water hose and neglect. Swamp, that's what I'm talking about. Seriously, like how many stories does anyone hear of, oh yeah, remember that kid? What was his name? Bobby? Remember he died from drinking out of a hose? Now, that being said, I'm sure someone did die from drinking out of a hose. I'm sure it's happened, and I'm sure it's happened more than once. But, you know, most of us made it. Go ahead, watch. Tonight, someone's going to say, yeah, my brother died from drinking out of a hose, and I'm going to feel really bad. Please don't do that. That's not a funny joke. If your relative died from drinking out of a hose, I'm just so sorry. You have all my sympathy. That's terrible. But if you didn't die from drinking out of a hose, that's not a funny joke. Don't say that. And in fact, as punishment, tomorrow, I'm going to go out and drink from my hose. I mean, you got to let it run for a little while. Like, we didn't just turn it on and drink from the, you know, you get all that hot, nasty water. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's knowing your surroundings. It's living off the land. You know what I'm saying? We removed our own ticks, you know? Marge is laughing right now because she knows how much I hate ticks. Almost as much as she hates spiders. All right, I'm going to show you the other thing too. Let me do this because I've got gold on the mask right here. I'm going to move this down so you can see a little bit better. So this is the other way to fix the gold, extra gold leaf stuff. Like there's gold and it's definitely stuck on there, right? So you can essentially just grab the black and just paint over it. It's so thin, it has no dimension to it. So you don't even have to worry about it showing up, you know? Which is kind of why I'm not, you know, overly worried when I'm putting the gold on. Swamp, I will not be painting a tick. Yeah, and I know what you're talking about. Not the regular, like a deer tick or the wood tick that, we would get on us. You're talking about the female ticks that end up on dogs. Oh, I have nightmares now. I'm usually not, I don't have a problem with bugs, but ticks just suck. Get it? Losing so many subscribers right now. I love it. All right. So there's the black. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. I could have done brown first, but, I just kind of went for the black and it worked out really, really well. So at the moment, we're on a hose pipe ban thanks to the recent heat waves. Yeah, so there you go, Ian. Because we can't even, same thing. We've been having a drought, so we're super careful. We are fortunate that we have a well, so unless the well goes dry. All right, next up, and this will probably be where we end it. I'm going to go a little burnt umber. This is burnt umber, and it's kind of an orangey brown, which will work perfect for this. Now we're just going to kind of fill in the blanks. So I add some of this. I think I already have this reduced because there's nothing left. So the brown will kind of take up where the black is kind of harsh. Clankers, 2 glass balls on a string. Michael, I don't. That's awesome. Also sounds dangerous, which I like. All right, so with the burnt umber, it's much more subtle, so I can kind of be a little bit freer with it, which is why originally I said usually I start with that, because I can kind of lay that in without too much commitment. I'll move this out so you can see the whole thing. So if I screw it up, if I put it in the wrong spot, I haven't screwed up the whole thing. Like the black, if I do too much of it or put it in the wrong spot, you're gonna see it. With the burnt umber, it's not the same. Like I'll do it on this front panel. So I'll do a fade from the bottom to the top. And this will just give it, a much deeper, richer, rusty orange. Wait, what? Clankers, 2 glass balls on a string. Michael, that sounds like a wonderfully bad idea. I love that. Clackers. Oh my God. No, I don't remember that one. It's like the old, I'm dating myself now. It's the old Saturday Night Live skit with Bag of Glass. The toys from, I forget what the name of again, points if you remember the name of the company in Saturday Night Live for the Bag of Glass. But Dan Aykroyd, just perfect. Todd wants to know who else participated in the BB gun and bottle rocket wars. Yeah, I did. I'm in for that one. We didn't do bottle rocket wars, but we had BB gun wars. Don't tell my mom. My dad, I had one. It was just air. It was an air BB gun, but it was a pistol, like a 45, and it looked real. And my dad actually, when I was using it out in the backyard, he came out and he's like, I just had to see because it looked real. I'm like, yeah, Dad, it's not real. I had it for a while too. I ended up, I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, it was fun. Yes, Michael, I've done that too. All right, so anyway, there's what it looks like. It's almost like wasp colored. Really, I like that. Speaking of bugs, I must have bugs on the mind. But there you go. Let me switch you out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch you out to this one real quick. But you're really far away for this. So let me move the big camera out to a little bit farther distance after I pull the cable out. There we go. So we'll get you a not as far away view of it too. Again, Swamp, don't feel like you have to pick your winner tonight. You can take your time with it, and then just the thing to do is send me a message on my website through the website. You see a little "Can I help you?" That goes right to me. So you can just tell me which one you'd like. But if you do it through the website, I'll make sure to get the message. The other things like Facebook and Instagram, the messaging has got all wonky, so I don't always get the messages. Oh, good, Ian. Yeah, she's gonna be awesome. Back when bell bottoms are cool. I agree. All right, so you guys see it from far away. This is what it looks like. So far, I love it with the orange mask. So again, the respirator part, that'll be real traditional. So I'll do gray with the little filter in there, and that'll be white, and that'll be good. I don't think I'll do too much weathering on the cartridges, but yeah, having the orange mask is the way to go. And of course, if you follow Spraygunner, orange is their company color. So I definitely wanted to have some orange in there, but I didn't want it to be in your face. So let's get you guys closer. This is what it looks like a little bit closer. And yeah, I'm super happy. And yeah, you can really see that gold, you know, it like really shines. So I did a little cleanup on that gold, but yeah, that worked out pretty well. Yeah, so I got to do a little bit on the, I got to do the cartridges. I got to do some cleanup on some of the tentacles, but not much. I wanted to add more detail on the suckers. We talked a little bit about clearing this. It's going to be cleared in multiple styles. So for instance, the tentacles are going to have this high gloss clear like they have. The tentacles are going to be more matte colored. The skull will remain matte colored as well. Not sure. I think I might put a gloss on the orange part to give it more of that shiny rubber feel. And then the cartridges will probably be matte as well. And then I have no idea what I'm going to do with the top yet. We'll figure that out later. There you go. That's what we got. And I stayed awake through the whole thing. Yay for me. Move some of this stuff. Do that. And we'll switch back to this one. So first off, I want to thank Cheese Grits and NyQuil for sending all of his friends, his lock-picking friends over, and also for sending me a care package, which I'm going to start a new video series on this channel, which is going to be mailbox stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but whenever you lovely people send me something cool, I'm going to have a monthly or weekly or whatever video of me opening all that fun stuff, because you guys have sent me some really cool stuff and I haven't been very good at showing it off. So we're going to get that going too. So thank you for Western Massacre Lock Sport for sending me a care package to get me into picking locks, which is going to be a blast. You can follow him and all those other fine people that just joined on. It's an amazing community. So thanks for invading over here. Thank you. I saw Honey did a super thanks, so thank you in advance. But of course, you know, thank you to everyone who does that now and in the future. That's amazing. This week schedule, there will not be a time-lapse Tuesday because I didn't get to do any 534s. However, Open Studio is going to be live this week, so we're going to do that again. So there will be the Tokyo painting, but I'm going to do that live. So think about your soapbox topics for Wednesday and come prepared, and I will say a bunch of stuff I have nothing to say about, you know, it'll be good. All right, I'm going to go get some rest. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you guys all on Wednesday. Have a good one. Thanks. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.